Happy Monday, everybody. The markets are back open for another week of trading. And today on my stream, on my main channel, Trades by Matt, it happens every morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. It's free to watch. I took 2 trades. We're going to go and recap those now. So sit back and enjoy the little segments from the stream this morning. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and as well as the main channel. And let's go and get into it. Good morning. How we doing, chat? Sorry, I'm trying to get everything set up. I was coming in a little late here. All right, news on the session chat. We've got nothing. No news Monday. I had F1 this weekend. It was a good time, I will say. It felt more crowded than ever, which is a good thing for the sport. But man, it was crowded. I will also say the Austin GP really just felt like a little tease for Vegas. All it did was get me incredibly excited for Vegas in a month. The Vegas race is so much fun. The Austin race was great. I loved Lando and Charles duking it out. But man, from a spectator's experience, Vegas is just top notch, and I cannot wait. I got to hang out for a while with Cameron Doss, who used to trade with us. He actually told me a little bit of his story. I think you might find this interesting. I didn't know if he was still trading or not. Turns out he's not trading anymore. He's doing full-time content with racing. He's like partnered up with Red Bull. He's like crushing it. It's awesome. But he was saying that like this was like a lot of y'all were not around when he was here. This was like 4 years ago. If you saw my Instagram story, and I talked about it on Friday, like he was racing in the Euro Formula Cup. He ended up winning the Euro Formula. And the race where he won the Euro Formula, he put TBM on the side because we did a charity stream for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, I believe. Anyways, he told me about why he got into day trading and a couple of other things I thought were fascinating. He said that he got into day trading because like when the racing season is not happening, it's really hard. And even in between, like during the middle of the weeks, it's like your brain has to be so on for racing. And he was like, the only thing that I could find that was similar was trading for making my brain like active enough. He said the other thing that was super, he's like, it's also like super hand in hand he's like, everything you preach about patience, he's like, at least 4 years ago. And I was like, oh, I still try and talk about it. Is super applicable in racing. He's like, you have to know when to hit it. You have to know when to be patient. He's like, most of racing is being patient, and then you wait for one mistake or one little spot where you have to send it. He's like, it's super applicable with trading. So he was like, I think that he told me, and I don't know how much of fluff this is, obviously, but he's like, to me, that season of Euro Formula that I won, I attribute a lot of it to day trading, keeping my brain sharp, making me focus on emotional capital and being patient and executing when I need to execute, which I thought was honestly very fun. It was very fun to hear from my side. I also learned a ton about like F1 from him. I got to ask so many questions that I would have never asked anybody else unless they were a literal driver. So he won F4, won Euro Formula, won F3, I believe. And then he had an opportunity to get F2, but he had to raise like $4 million in like 2 months, and he wasn't able to do it. Learning how much of a, like, obviously, like, we all know F1 is a massive money sport. I didn't know how much of a money sport. Like, a lot of those drivers, it's also very political, which everything is, I guess, in life. A lot of the drivers, like, a lot of people who win F2 never make it to Formula 1 because they don't have the connections or the money. Anyways, he's got really interesting content. If you're interested in racing or go-karting or cars or anything in general, he's really becoming the leading person for that. So you can watch him on YouTube. He's got like 800,000 subs now or something crazy. He's literally blown up. All right, markets are pushing. We're at 25,220. Talked for 20 minutes about F1 and Cameron. So I guess we'll talk about the markets now. We are above yesterday's value high. We're above VWAP. We're above the overnight highs. We are pushing. Coming back down into 186 could be interesting, but I think the rotation to 280s, if not higher, looks pretty solid. You could have literally bought the open and be up 120 points with zero drawdown if you just market smash the open. That's crazy. Looks like Top Step X is still down, I'm guessing. Their get flat channel still going absurd, man. This is all in the last like minute or two. Someone said hopefully it's automated. I don't think this is automated, man. This dude's saying posted an hour ago. Yeah, they got like one dude in here. Poor guy. Not automated. Oof. Ouch. Genuine question. Aren't you worried about being so public facing and something similar happening if y'all have issues? 100%. It's also why I'm not launching until we're like confident about how everything is working and how we've set it up. What I was talking about a couple weeks ago about like the whole analogy of the half-baked cake. There are also things that just are out of people's hands sometimes, i.e. AWS. And then it comes down to like, how are you going to market that? Like Lucid said, don't trade. Top stuff, I don't know if they've said that or not. It's like, there will never be a time where we completely get through everything unscathed. And I'm okay with that. I accept that. There are always going to be things out of my control. I accept that. Things that are in my control, I will do everything in my power to not accept that, right? Like, that's just part of it, man. And like, I already know that there's going to be times where like we get flamed for like things not working when it's like Rhythmic or Project X or some other platform or whatever that's like broken. Like there are times where like Rhythmic is broken and people are like, Sierra chart sucks. Sierra chart's broken. And it's like, no, Rhythmic is broken. So that will happen at some point also. And it's like, you can only educate so much and it just is what it is. But again, everything in our power, we're doing everything that we can to make sure that doesn't happen. And we were making sure that we were taking our time and doing it right. Is it detectable if Rhythmic is the problem versus Tradester? If so, can you have a pop-up on the platform that says it's having issues? Yeah. Yes and no. Rhythmic does not have a status page. It's not like you can go in and see if Rhythmic is broken right now. You just have to kind of make the assumption. That being said, Garrett's a smart dude, and we've had plenty of conversations about how we want to try our best to be able to handle that. And of course, if we are able to figure out ways, we will obviously have a toast or a pop-up or an alert that says what's happening, because we don't want people thinking it's us when it's not us. But it's kind of wild when you think about it. That fact that Rhythmic doesn't even have a status page is kind of wild. Not kind of wild, like actually insane. Oh, we're 1 hour into the session. I haven't seen anything that's worth taking so far. It doesn't really feel like we're moving all that much either, to be honest. Like, are we going to hold this volume and just keep grinding it up at 50? Potentially get away with something like this, right? Fairly tight trade. We got a little bit of liquidity higher, so it's like potentially questionable. Delta's lagging a little bit. Prior open. Right up near IB. Missed it by 1.5 points for an instant fill. Sick. Visit F1, I did. How many trades do you take a day on average? Usually on the stream, it's like 1 to 3, 0 to 3, 0 to 4. Probably average of 1, 2, 3. But like last week, I traded all day for like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Basically all day long. Took a lot of trades. I have no idea how many I took. But the markets were moving really well, so it just kind of depends on how the markets are moving, on how many trades I'm going to take. It still looks fairly interesting up here, to be honest. Would I have gotten the fill at 81.5? No, I would not have. I would have missed it by a tick still. I got stopped out. 7 points. Little baby test actually worked. We just had the liquidity higher. A little bit of buyers came in at the last minute. On to the next. Close. I feel like a close up here is fine for the IB retest, potentially. I still think it gets a little gross, to be honest, though. If it does it in the same candle, like, coming back inside IB, I think I actually probably still rotate 71. So hopefully we can just push. Clear, give us a little bit of space, next 5 minutes or something. Pretty much straight up, yeah, literally. It was my little half attempt at that prior open on the daily chart, looking for a rotation. Didn't really happen. Kept it really tight, so. Worth a stab, in my opinion. Worth a stab, and on to the next. I'm not going to try and fade anything in here. But at IB, and at the top of the little daily open like that, in the magical 80s, I'm okay with a quick little 7-point attempt. But it didn't work, obviously. So on to the next. But like I said, it's kind of not a... I don't feel upset about that trade at all. There's the IBH retest right there. I just don't think I like that. Like, we might push into the 300 still. You know what? I'm going to give it a shot. See if we can clean out 300. I was greedy by 1.5 points. I thought for sure we were going to eat that block. 60 block at 05. I was greedy by 2 points. I still think we eat that block. It's just a question of, do I get stopped out in the meantime? I'd rather see us eat the block, to be honest. I really like the rotation at 20. My risk is off right now. I have my stop break even. Candle's closing out right now. I want to see it push a little bit into the close. Just kill it there. I mean, I'm not going to let it do it again. 2 times in a row of the quick push and instant slap. Not going to let it happen twice. Still a pretty solid trade, though, off of IB. I'm glad I took the IBH trade. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, it makes me nervous to take that because we could have instantly slapped back down into 70, but like, the trend is up. Play it accordingly. I essentially took a trade I was very comfortable taking with 7 points of stop at IBH, magical 80s, that daily level I was talking about. We break out of it, right? So it's like, okay, so then take the retest and ride it up. And I just was targeting the blocks. Like, the liquidity has clearly been pulling us up. So just going with the liquidity. I took more of a base hit. More than a base hit, obviously, but like, took like 15 something points. A little over 15 points, but just targeting the blocks. When we're kind of going in slow mode like this, I don't mind going for the blocks like that. I think we probably rotated to 320, but I was red on the day and I wanted to flip it green. So, and I don't want to have the same experience where it's like a quick sweep and then it eats it back down. When I could have gone green on the day to then watch it go break even is not right. So just take the profit there. Now I'm up basically 9.5 points, almost 10 points up. I'm up 190 bucks on each account right now after being down 145. And now it puts me in a spot to be able to take a trade and try and let it run a little bit more. If I get to that same situation, I feel a lot more comfortable if I'm in that same situation that I was just in, holding on to the break even and letting it run since I'm already green on the session. You know what I mean? To where the break even doesn't put me back red.